everyone and welcome to my reaction of my first ever video. So it turns out this week, exactly on Tuesday, it marked my 5-year anniversary of the book Sanctum, which I can't believe that it's been 5 years. It's been an amazing 5 years, but I still can't believe it's been 5 years. And it was also the first anniversary of me changing my name from My Dreams of Reading to the Book Sanctum, and also 1 year of the Comic Book Sanctum. Now, I am celebrating 1 year of the Comic Book Sanctum by posting a blog every single day throughout the month of July, but I'm not doing anything, or at least I hadn't planned anything to do to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of my channel. So what I thought I'd do is react to my first ever video. Well, not actually my first ever video, because that's only a minute long and then my next two were reviews. Instead, what I'm going to be reacting to is the BookTube newbie tag, which is the 4th video I ever uploaded, but it's sort of like the longest one of the early days, and I just think it's going to work best for this. So I'm prepared to cringe. I'm very worried. But let's get into it. Oh, I'm scared. I'm very scared.
New channel.
Hey guys, so considering this new channel, I thought I'd get to know me a little bit better.
You guys can get to
hear me a little bit better.
First question is,
I still don't know what happened there with the editing and the sound. I still really don't know. But also, that setup. That is literally my dining room, and that bookcase was the only one I had properly set up anyway that I could actually film in front of. Wow. This was old, and also the camera quality. That is a very old phone that I was recording on. I mean, now I have camera difficulties anyway because my flip thing is broken, but that is really bad. How did anyone subscribe to me?
why did you start this channel? The reason why I started this channel is basically because I haven't read anything in about 4 or 5 years now. And not like a proper book that I haven't been forced to read because of uni. And the reason for that is basically because of uni and when I was doing my A-levels in school and all the rest of it, that I kind of got stuck with doing all of that. And because I got really into writing at the time and I didn't want to read anything because I was just so busy with smoke coming off my keyboard because I was writing so much. And I still am, but I really wanted to get back into books because if I'm writing books and stories, I feel like I should be reading them as well. So I thought that I'd get back into reading again this year because it's my final year of uni and why not. And I thought that I'd make this channel just so I could sort of share that love of reading and to sort of express my opinions and make friends with like-minded people and stuff like that. So I thought that the BookTube idea would be a really good idea and a plan to sort of work with.
First of all, that editing's really bad, but I've got to admit those opinions are still the same. I spent most of my... I'm going to take one bit off, that's better, so I can actually hear myself. That's really weird. But I was very, not reading at the time because uni and A-levels and everything just sort of destroyed reading for me, because we were reading stuff like Alice in Wonderland and Jekyll and Hyde and things like this that I just really, really didn't enjoy, and it sort of just destroyed my love of reading. And the only thing I was reading was fan fiction, which isn't bad. I still love reading fan fiction. I don't read enough of it now, but definitely glad I did it. But my God, did I waffle through that as well. That was really, really waffly. I mean, I haven't improved that much, but I think I'm a little bit more succinct now, but damn, I was waffly, and that editing is really bad as well.
Question 2 is what's fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? And I think the fun things I can bring to YouTube is that you can all laugh at me because I'm horrendously behind on all things books-wise, basically. There's so many really popular books that I haven't read, and I've either missed the hype completely or just haven't even heard of them. So I think you can sort of all laugh at me as I desperately try and catch up, basically. And I hope you find that hilarious, or possibly you can relate to it because you've come to a book a bit later than everybody else, or you're in a similar sort of situation to me where you haven't read that much over the last few years. So I think that's some of the fun things I could bring. Uniqueness, possibly the fact that I don't really want to focus on anything sort of contemporary or really romancy or anything like that, because that's not really my thing. I'm more into young adult and sort of sci-fi and fantasy and stuff like that, and a bit of gore maybe as well, stuff about assassins and things like that, because that's the stuff that interests me. So hopefully there'll be a lot of books like that on here once I really get going. So hopefully that'll be something a bit unique. I'm not sure. I've looked up a few YouTubers who review books, but I haven't really come across anybody who sort of talks about stuff like that much, like almost exclusively. So I don't know, I could be wrong. If I am, please tell me down in the comments.
That editing was really bad again. I'm just cringing at my own editing, but I did not research BookTube before I got into it. Literally, I looked up like a couple of people and that was it. So I was sitting here thinking that it was going to be more like contemporary books that people were talking about and like YA romance and stuff like this, and obviously it's not. Obviously. And yeah, I thought it was because I didn't do my research, which I have now learned. I now have researched and like found people who like similar things that I do. But that was a really bad answer. But quite frankly as well, I still haven't caught up on like the books I've missed. I still haven't read The Hunger Games at all. I haven't read The Hunger Games or like many hyped books. Like I've now caught up with stuff like Six of Crows and things like this, but a lot of the hyped books that have been hyped for like my teenage years and stuff, still haven't read them. Still haven't read them. That's really bad.
Question number 3 is what you're most looking forward to about this channel, and I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is making friends and coming across people who are also like-minded, who love books and possibly also like writing them. I'm not sure yet, but I really want to make friends and find people who are really like-minded to me and really like the same sort of books, so we can have a nice great big discussion about stuff like this and sort of have a big fangirl moment over some of the characters, and possibly sort of have a nerd out about words and things like that, because I really love stuff like that. And yeah, I'd love to come across people who are really like-minded. And also, I'm really looking forward to actually just sort of reading books, because it's been so long now that it's sort of like a new experience, because I'm so used to reading things on a screen on my laptop that reading things in actual book form is going to be really quite new and exciting, and not having to do an essay on it afterwards or overly analyse things. It's going to be really, really nice, so I'm really looking forward to that too.
Yeah, so yeah, basically the same there. My opinions haven't changed there. Got to admit though, holding books physically, I realised about a couple of days before I filmed this that it really hurt. I'm dyspraxic, so holding things is not my strong point, but the book hand cramp is real.
Boys, why do you love reading? And I love reading because it's an escape from life, and life can be pretty damn boring and terrible at times, and when you go to read you can go on this amazing adventure with some amazing characters who maybe like you or maybe like the person that you want to be, or you can explore new sort of ideas safely, and it's just an escape and a massive adventure. And I really like the idea of going on a huge adventure without actually going outside, because I'm not good at going outside and stuff. So it's sort of like going outside without actually going out and doing things. It's just an escape from life in general and being like experiencing loads of new things and all the rest of it. It's just I love the escapism of it, basically. I just love the escapism. That's why I love reading. It's just escapism, and it's amazing, and I love it.
Yeah, that holds up. In a waffly way, that definitely holds up.
Question number 5 is what book or book series got you into reading? And if I'm perfectly honest, I can't remember, because I was sort of reading so long ago, I can't even remember what the book was that I got into it. All I know is that I've sort of always had a thing for words and talking and stuff like that, because I was kind of not exactly a very active child, basically, for quite a lot of reasons. So my mum just used to talk to me a lot, and it sort of got me really into words and things like that. So I sort of was surrounded by words quite a lot as a child, and she used to read to me a lot, and that really got me into reading because she's a really big reader, and she really instilled it in me from a very young age, from like the age of like 2 or something ridiculous. So I can't actually remember what book it was specifically, but I do remember sort of like some standout series were like Harry Potter, because Mum used to read those to me when I was a kid, which I really, really enjoyed, because she used to do like really good voices and stuff like that for the characters, which was really funny, and so I really enjoyed that. But I also had A Series of Unfortunate Events was another big one that I really, really enjoyed, but never actually finished, which is actually going to be on my list for things to read for this channel at some point. I remember a book called Larklight. I can't remember who that was by, but I really enjoyed that one as a kid, and I used to read that obsessively. But I can't remember any sort of specific book that sort of had me going, right, I want to read for the rest of my life. I can't quite remember a sort of specific book or series that specifically got me into reading. So I think it was more, I grew up surrounded by big readers, and people used to talk to me about books and read me books and stuff that sort of got me into it, and I don't think it really was a specific book or series or anything like that got me into it. It just sort of got instilled into me as a small child, and it's just sort of stayed with me, I think. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. If I am, I'll update you on that.
I missed an obvious answer there. I didn't mention Skullduggery Pleasant. It didn't get me into reading, but it was very much a formative book series. How didn't I mention Skullduggery? How? I'm not even asking. How? I'm ashamed of myself right now. I am ashamed of younger me. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. Clearly I wasn't thinking, but still, I didn't mention Skullduggery. That's just blown my mind. That's just blown my mind a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Question 6 is, what is a question that you'd like to ask your favourite booktuber? And at the moment I don't really have a favourite booktuber at the moment, because I'm sort of just discovering people and get to know this community a bit better. But there is a question I'd like to ask all booktubers, and that is, where do you find room to put your books? Because I have no room. I haven't collected that many at the moment. There's probably round about 101 bookshelf that's not quite full yet, but I need to find other books that are going to fit on that. That's not a part of a massive series. I've got Terry Pratchett over there, like behind the camera, in a box because I can't fit them anywhere. And all of these are audio books behind me that I haven't actually listened to because they're my nats. But there's just no room to put books anywhere, and I want to know where people hide them, because I have no idea and I need ideas. So if anybody has any idea on where to hide books when you have no room for bookshelves anywhere, or no room on the existing shelf that you've got, where do you hide them? I need your tips, because I have no idea anymore. So if anybody has any idea on that, booktuber or not actually, please do tell me down in the comments, because I'm kind of stuck here.
So, context for that, we'd just moved in to this house, and I was in a tiny, tiny box room, and I had room for one tiny shelf that I filled very quickly, and then I had one there, which used to be my old filming setup as well, and I filled that very, very quickly. And I've now since moved bedrooms, and now I have 5 bookcases in there, and I've now run out of room there as well. So what I'm essentially doing is slotting books in wherever physically possible, and then just buying everything else on ebook, because it's the easiest thing to do. I just fill up my ebook, essentially. I'm filling up my Kindle. That's how you hide books. That's how you deal with the hauling. Buy it on Kindle, or at least on ebook. And don't buy hardcovers that often, because they will fill up more space than needed. So I've kind of answered my own question there.
Finally, question 7 is, what challenges do you think you're going to come across with booktubing, and how do you think you're going to overcome them? I think the biggest challenge is going to be actually making videos, because I have very limited time quite a lot of the time, because I don't like filming when there's other people in the house. It kind of freaks me out, makes me feel really self-conscious. So I don't think I can ever film with somebody's in the house, but it's almost permanently that somebody is in the house. And when I go back to uni, it's going to be on the same, I'm going to be in lecture probably at the same time when people go out, so it's going to be really difficult to actually film videos. And I'm going to try my best and probably sneak ninja it in whenever physically possible, and film when there's just 5 minutes when someone leaves the house, basically, and just hope for the best. And I think that's going to be my biggest issue. That, and keeping on top of actually reading things when I go back to uni. Basically, uni is my biggest problem right now. I'm currently on holiday, so I'm going to probably read as much as I physically can and film as many videos as I physically can, then upload them whenever I can't actually film a video. But currently I think it's going to be uni is going to be my issue, especially when I first go back, and I'm in my 3rd year, so I've got to write dissertations and all the rest of it. But I'm going to try my very best and ninja it in whenever I physically can, and I think that's going to be my biggest issue. That, not rambling, because I ramble a lot, so I think editing out rambling is also going to be an issue, because I really like rambling and going off on weird tangents, as you can probably tell by this video, and it's all completely unscripted, because I can't script anything to save my life, so that's going to be an issue, I think. And how I'm going to overcome that is serious editing, basically. I think it's just going to be down to editing a lot. And I think currently that's going to be my biggest issue.
I haven't fixed the rambling problem. What I've done is actually now film when I have a time limit. And because I have a time limit, I'm more likely to shut up and sort of squish things down. But yeah. But the whole filming in the house thing, that isn't an issue anymore. Pandemic sort of screwed that for me, so I had to go, right, look, I've got to film. You're in the house, and now I just close all the doors. I just close the door to my room where I'm filming usually, and I just sort of film, essentially. I've just had to get used to it. I've literally just had to get used to it and just do it, so it's not that bad actually. It's quite fun. I can sort of work it quite well now, and it now just doesn't bother me. I'm literally filming this, and my mum's upstairs working, literally directly above my head, so I mean, it's fine now, it's absolutely fine, so that's fine. And I mean, uni didn't prove that much of a problem in terms of filming. My problem turned out to be remembering to edit then upload, because what my very clever plan was to film, edit and upload, and what I'd do is film and then never edit it or upload it, or I'd film and edit it and then think I've uploaded it, but I hadn't. I was so good at this. Oh my god, that was bad. I've now sorted it. I have a schedule. I've sorted myself out now. But now my biggest problem is dealing with planes and trains, which, because I live near an airfield and an airport. No, not an airfield and a train station. So I just get that constantly at the moment. So that is now my biggest issue. But wow. That was a mess. I think I've only got there is that was an absolute mess, quite frankly, and I'm so glad I continued and worked on like my editing skills and my comfortability on camera, because I look so awkward there. I'm definitely less awkward now, at least I hope I'm less awkward. That was just an experience. But I can't believe that was 5 years ago. I cannot believe that this has been 5 years now. That's just incredible to me that I've been doing this now for 5 years. And it's also slightly distracting because I look like I've got brown eyes in that video, and I wasn't wearing contacts or anything like that. So I don't know what happened there either. But yeah, that was fun but cringy. I'm so glad I continued. I'm so glad I got better at filming as well, because I was literally resting my phone on a chair to film that, and now I've actually got a tripod. I've got 3 tripods actually, and a camera and all the rest of it. Obviously you don't need a camera, but I do recommend a tripod at the very least. Just so you've actually got something to properly rest your filming equipment on. But yeah, that was 5 years ago. My hair's changed a lot. Facially I haven't. My jewellery hasn't either, but that was an experience. I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad I continued, and I'm glad I sorted out a schedule. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave that here because otherwise I will ironically start rambling. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below and tell me your hiding places for books. I'd love to know. And also what your reaction was to rewatching your first ever video. I would love to know if you just cringed as much as I did. Also, I'll leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which is updating every day throughout the month of July to celebrate 1 year of the Sanctum. So please do check that out if you are interested in Marvel Comics and want more information about them. And if you want to see any more of my videos, which are hopefully going to be better than that one, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye, and thank you for sticking with me for the last 5 years.